fans on my modified Creator Pro. It's running an SKR 1.4 turbo, and the fan outs that it has for those extruder fans are always on as long as they have as long as the board is powered. The fans just run all the time. But in Marlin, there's an option to have auto fans that are triggered by extruder temperature, and I'll show you that mod in the firmware in just a little bit. So what we have here is an input here just for some test voltage for the 24 volts main line that's going to be coming from the board. So this plug will be able to plug into one of the fan ports on the board, and what that's going to do is it's going to run positive power going with conventional current here to the fan. The fan negative is going to come out, and there is a flyback diode in between my positive and negative here, so that I don't harm this transistor when I power off the fan. Now this transistor is going to be a BC337, and this is also BC337. These two sides are pretty much mirrors of each other. I had to flip the wiring around a little bit just so I could have my fan ports going in opposite directions. So the positive fan plug is here and here. Anyways, so the negative power, the negative terminal for the fan coming out here, optionally goes through the flyback diode back to positive, but it also comes back to this transistor. This transistor, when closed, is going to run and deliver current and complete the circuit back to the negative terminal on the fan port on the board. Now to trigger the fan, I have selected a pin in firmware, and that is going to be this yellow line. So this yellow plug comes in, it's going to go through a diode here. This diode will protect any of the 24 volts that the fan is running on from coming back through this line if this transistor fails, coming back in and pushing back up this yellow line, because that's only providing 3.3 volts, so electricity might want to go back up there if this fails. So there's a diode there. That diode is the cathode of this diode, is connected to this resistor, 1K resistor, and that's going to go to the base of this transistor to turn it on. So when we have a fan plugged in, and we plug in our Mach 24 volts, and turn that on, and then we're going to push 3.3 volts of test voltage, and we get some spin up. All right. So now the next step is going to be trim this board. We're going to 3D print a mount for it to fit it under the printer next to the SKR 1.4.
Alright, so now that it's printed, you can see it is installed right here. And it is going into this EXP2 port. And now we will try heating some things up.
Alright, we got temperatures over here, and it looks like these fans are probably going to start at the same time. There goes fan 1, there goes fan 2, auto on. And let's kill the temperature.
And we can see when the temperature is now dropped below 50, they spool down.